Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Vinyl Junkie Record Shop. My name is Mike, and as you can see from my gear, that it is almost Christmas, and we're going to do a Christmas-themed episode for you here today. I'm going to highlight some of my favorite Christmas albums of the season, and specifically, I want to show you my newest pickup on vinyl, which is the 25th anniversary of Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Christmas Eve and Other Stories, which as far as I know is the first time it's been released on vinyl. So, brief history lesson on the band. Trans-Siberian Orchestra formed out of the ashes of the heavy metal band Sabotage. I'm going to show you this album here. This is Hall of the Mountain King from 1987. On this album, a guy named Paul O'Neill joined up with the band as a producer, and he kind of brought more of an orchestral flavor to the blazing heavy metal of Sabotage. And the band went on to record several albums that he produced in the late 1990s. The lead guitarist of that band, Chris Oliva, was tragically killed in I believe it was a motorcycle accident. But anyway, the band carried on and continued to release albums. None of them really achieved the level of success that the first trio of albums that the band produced, or the band put out, that were produced by Paul O'Neill. But in 1995, I believe it was, they released this album, Dead Winter Dead. And the song Christmas Eve Sarajevo 1224 first appeared on this album. And that song, I'll be honest, back in the late 90s, I wasn't following the band all that closely. I didn't own this album when it first came out. But a couple years later, or a year later, you started hearing that song on the radio quite often. And I remember going into a Target and picking up an album, this one right here, actually, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Christmas Eve and Other Stories, and I did not know who they were or what to really expect. Someone had told me that this was kind of an operatic rock sounding album in the vein of like Mannheim Steamroller and that kind of thing. So I just picked it up, brought it home, started listening to it, really thought it was amazing, and then I got to looking at the liner notes, and to my surprise, I recognized several names associated with Sabotage, specifically Paul O'Neill, Robert Kinkle, and the musicians, Al Petrelli, who had joined the band in the lead guitar role, Johnny Lee Middleton on bass, Jeff Plate on drums, and Chris Caffery on some additional guitar and vocals, and John Oliva, the original lead singer, on backing vocals. So to my surprise, this was the remains of the band Sabotage. So those of you who are familiar with both groups, you already know that. But if you didn't know that, it's very interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people to this day go to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and have no idea the connection between TSO and one of the most underrated classic metal bands ever in Sabotage. So there we go with that. So I've already shown you the CD I bought that came out in 1996, I believe. In 1996, they released Christmas Eve and Other Stories. And that was followed up with the Christmas Attic. And pretty much the same musical lineup. They had a variety of different lead vocalists appear on these albums. And none of them really were metal vocalists. They were all more kind of Broadway or operatic or just, contemporary sounding vocal styles. My favorite song from the Christmas Attic is The Three Kings and I. And it's kind of more of a gospel bluesy, sound like it could be on the from a Blues Brothers album. But that's kind of what the band was going for. There's some blistering rock on these albums, but not anything in the vein of what Sabotage would do on their albums. until the final Christmas album TSO put out, The Lost Christmas Eve. This one was really cool. It came with this really nice booklet that tells the story and has the vocals and some neat artwork and has all of the artist listings on here. This album is a little bit heavier in spots and had kind of a, more of a hard rock heavy metal sound. Alex Skolnick from the band Testament appeared on this album, and actually is in one of the touring, or was in one of the touring groups of the band. And Alex Skolnick had actually played lead guitar on a Sabotage album, A Handful of Rain, which was the first album released after Chris Oliva's death. So there's another big connection from some serious heavy metal to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in Alex Skolnick. So we've got that, and then I also kind of want to show you this. I dug this out. This is from 2003 when I went to see the band. I've seen them many times over the years. It's kind of my Christmas tradition to go and see the TSO show. But this one is really cool. It's got some really fantastic pictures. That's Paul O'Neill right there. Unfortunately, we lost him a couple of years ago. I think it was a couple of years ago. But Paul has passed, but the band continues on. You can see this one, according to the itinerary there. This was the final show of the tour in 2003. I saw them in Indianapolis, and I got to meet this touring version of the band. Got some of their autographs here on the page. This touring, the touring lineup for they have an East Coast and West Coast lineup because they do so many shows throughout the year. But I've seen this lineup several times that has Al Petrelli on lead guitar. You may know Al Petrelli from, he's played with Megadeth, he's played with a host of other bands and projects. But this has been his big commitment, over the last several years. And then Johnny Lee Middleton on bass, John O'Reilly drums. You had a guy named Angus Clark on the other guitars, and then just a host of different vocalists. But I've got them autographed that page kind of individually, and there's a real nice picture in here of Al that I had him autograph. So pretty neat. If you have never seen the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you've got to go see them live. It's an experience you won't ever forget. It's just visually and auditory an amazing experience, and everyone should go see them at least one time. So those are the CDs, and here I want to show you. I've already taken the hype stickers off and put them on this sleeve. This I get picked up at Walmart. You can see it's the exclusive blue vinyl version. It's a gatefold double album. This has a really neat gatefold with some photo scenes from the scenes that kind of pictures that tell the story of the album. Without going into too much detail in this album, basically it's a concept story of the Lord sends an angel down to the earth, and his assignment is to go about the earth and bring back something that he can show to the Lord to let him know that the people of the earth are doing well, and that his creation is doing what it should be doing. So that's a very loose rendition of the story, but each song tells a story, and there's a very unique flavor to the album. It basically takes, familiar Christmas melodies and songs and incorporates them into original arrangements and original songs to tell this story. And it's an amazing album. Let's show you the actual record here. I'm only going to show you one of them. They both look alike, but I want to show you this vinyl. It's got a really neat custom label with the band logo, and looks like a snowflake on there, and then this blue vinyl is really, really nice. I'm gonna get that on there because it kind of reflects my Christmas tree in the music room. There we go. How's that? So this this looks really nice. It's on 180 gram vinyl. I was very excited when I saw this. I did not know that this was coming out or was going to be released. So I picked it up pretty quickly. I've had this for a while. I haven't yet to open it or listen to it. And then there's this really nice booklet that comes with it. The booklet doesn't have really any more additional or new material that appeared in the original pressing of the CD. It's just a little bit bigger and kind of easier to follow. There's kind of a synopsis of the story and the lyrics to the songs. But it's a nice booklet, and this is a really nice album to sit down on a nice cool evening and sit around by the lights of your tree and just listen to it front to back, and follow the story and read the written excerpts that come with the booklet that go in between the songs that tell the story. It's a fantastic Christmas album. Not only is this my favorite Christmas album, this is one of my favorite records of all time, and you know, I usually only listen to it around the holiday season, but it's really that good, and you can listen to it anytime, and it's a very, very enjoyable record. So if you never heard TSO, I would highly recommend you check them out, and I would highly recommend you pick up any of their Christmas albums. They would make a great addition to your Christmas collection. So in addition to that, I'm going to show a couple other my favorite Christmas albums. I've got 3 of them, and I get these out and jam to these every year because they're just really awesome. First one is Gary Hoey. He put out a series of Christmas albums, and this is a collection of the best of them. So this is the best of Ho Ho Hoey. The jewel case has been beat up over the years, but just the print on the CD. Do not know if this is available on vinyl. Never really looked for it, but this has got some really great Christmas arrangements on it. One of my favorite ones being 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and what are some other really good ones on here? God Rest, a really rocking version of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. This is just a really good album all the way around. I don't have a lot of Gary Hoey stuff. In fact, this might be the only Gary Hoey album that I have, but he's a really great guitarist, and that's got some great instrumental versions of classic Christmas songs. Another favorite is this one. I've had this for a while. I'm not sure when this came out. 2008 this came out. We Wish You a Metal Xmas and a Headbanging New Year. So this is one of those compilation albums that come out. I want to say that Bruce Kulick was associated with a lot of these tribute albums and various artist collection albums. And this was one with the Christmas theme. But this has some really, really great stuff on it. I'll just run down some of the artists that are on here. Jeff Scott Soto, Bruce and Bob Kulick, Lemmy and Billy Gibbons and Dave Grohl do a rousing rendition of Run Rudolph Run. Alice Cooper, John Five, Billy Sheehan, Vinny Appice, Appice. I think Vinny pronounced it as Appice. A fantastic rendition of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen that features Ronnie James Dio, Tony Iommi, Rudy Sarzo, and Simon Wright. And that sounds like something that could have been lifted from the Heaven and Hell years. Fantastic song. Silver Bells with Jeff Tate, Carlos Cavazzo, James Lomenzo, Little Drummer Boy, Doug Pennick from King's X, George Lynch, Santa Claus is Back in Town with Tim Ripper Owens, Steve Morse, Juan Garcia, very well known in the metal world, Marco Mendoza, and again Vinny Appice again. Really, awesome version of Silent Night with Chuck Billy, Scott Ian, John Dene from who's now with Anthrax, John Tempesta on drums on that one, Oni Logan, Craig Golding, Tony Franklin with Deck the Halls, Stephen Piercy, Tracy Guns, Greg Bissonette, appear on Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree as Joe Lynn Turner, the Kulick Brothers again, Rudy Sarzo again, and then Happy Christmas, War is Over with Tommy Shaw, Steve Lukather, and Kenny Aronoff. So a whole host of familiar names on this album. This is really great. If you can find this anywhere, I highly recommend you pick it up. If you like hard rock and metal and Christmas, right up your alley. And then it wouldn't really be Christmas without Twisted Sister, A Twisted Christmas. Show you that one there. I think somewhere I've got a DVD or the video of this. Have the music DVD of this, these being performed live. This is just what you'd expect. It's Twisted Sister doing Christmas songs, and some of it might be a little campy, a little cheesy, but it's Twisted Sister, and I love it. It sounds great. Oh Come All You Faithful, White Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas, The Silver Bells, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. You know, all Christmas songs done by Twisted Sister. Can't go wrong. What's not to love about Christmas? What's not to love about Twisted Sister? So, that's just a few. Those are my hard rock and metal related Christmas albums that I really enjoy this time of year. Again, the highlight of this video is the double vinyl version of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra's classic Christmas Eve and Other Stories. Again, this is just such a fantastic record. I can't wait to get this out and spin it. It's going to sound amazing just to sit down one evening and listen to that story unfold while I listen to it on vinyl. One of my favorite records of all time, so I highly recommend it. If you've never heard it, please go out and check it out. And here at the shop, we wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I'll see you on the flip side.